Starbucks is a good one. Live. Oh, Matt's already asleep. From the bottom of St. Patrick's support hose, it's a does anybody still care about the Irish anymore edition of Business Pants?
Why? What?
I'm not.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
See, Matt. See, and she's in New York City. That's like an Irish world. No, it's not.
No,
Okay.
no. Boston.
No, that's
Southie.
Emma's talking from the future or the past? I can't.
past.
Her delay confuses me. The past. Okay. Joined as always by Emma, adjective lurking, and adverb Matt Mascardi. I'm the boring part of a conjunction and the least exciting part of a preposition in today's greenwash bag. I can say that today because of St. Patrick's Day, called March 17th, 2022. Damien drinks drugs and obeys CNN. Matt subtitles the headlines, and Emma dusts off one of her favorite board games.
Woohoo!
Wow. I'm excited for the boring part. Let's do that first.
Let's do this. This is, look, as stories go in our Business Pants world, this is as exciting as it gets. This is Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson retires, okay? And who's coming in to replace him? Howard Holocaust Blanket Schultz.
Yeah.
Stepping in, interim CEO. Okay. Kevin Johnson's been CEO for about 5 years. He's stepping down in April. Even as the pandemic shut down key markets and created supply shortages, Kevin was killing it at Starbucks. Okay?
Killing it.
He was?
He managed to lead the company to robust revenue
If by
and profit
it you
growth.
mean people. Yes.
No, I'm going to keep going. But now he intends to retire. But come on, he's not. No, he's not. And that's what the press release says. But he's not retiring. He was fired. Come on.
Ooh.
And how do I know this? Because the partners, who are the Starbucks employees, they have blood on their hands. Make no mistake about it. Johnson's operational and financial successes have been overshadowed by an exciting and budding labor movement at Starbucks. More than 100 Starbucks stores in more than 25 states have filed for union elections. Many either have begun to vote or are likely to vote. At least 6 have voted to unionize. Okay? That's what's going on here. That's why Mr. Blanket Schultz is back.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to say something, Matt, before I go on?
I'm impressed that you heard it here first that that Kevin Johnson effectively is spending more time with his family because he sucks at unionization. I didn't
Sucks at union busting.
Union busting. Literally, it's a
That's
union
what's going on
busting fire. And
Yeah, it's a union busting fire.
do we call Howard Schultz interim CEO or extrum CEO? Because he's
call
really
him,
just
like,
extra CEOing. He's already done it.
Cozy fleece blanket CEO.
Oh, all right, yeah. He's like the
let's get on to it.
slanket of CEOs.
I read a bunch of news stories. Who were the possible successors? Maybe a random CEO. They're saying maybe current COO John Culver. Maybe a former CEO Roz Brewer. She's at CEO of Walgreens now. But that would mean black women as CEO and chair. Come on, is that happening?
Not gonna
Could
happen.
possibly.
There's also former COO Troy Alstead.
Sounds
but
like a
he
football
said
player.
But I'm going to tell you this: when he retired the first time, he told the Puget Sound Business Journal that he was not going back to the corporate world. So he can't come that you can't go back on that
Can't
statement.
unsay that. Yeah.
Right. So it's not going to be him.
Yeah.
What about Howard Schultz again? Right? He does seem perfect.
Isn't
Yeah.
He already hates unions. Let's not forget. He said in his memoir, "I was convinced that under my leadership, employees would come to realize that I would listen to their concerns. If they had faith
Like
in
Jesus.
me and my motives, they wouldn't need a union."
Yeah.
so
Okay.
he's the best at union
He's like
busting.
coffee Jesus. Yeah.
He's the union busting antidote. And look, I do want to. I started off the show by calling him a Howard Holocaust Blanket Schultz. And I do want to back that up because I really Emma should buzz me for that, but she's not going to because
No, because it's a
No,
quote.
not.
I don't know why.
Well,
Here's the story. Here's the actual quote. I am going to read it again. It's a bit long, but I got to read this again. When Howard Schultz came in the first time to bust unions in Buffalo, this is part of the story that he gave. This is from a New York Times reporter. Howard said, and he was recounting a story about the Holocaust to try to convince the partners not to unionize. Here's part of the story. I'm not making any of this up. And one person for every 6 was given a blanket. 1 blanket for every 6 people. And the person who got the blanket had to decide what to do with this blanket that I had for myself. And not everyone, but most people shared their blanket with 5 other people. And the rabbi says to me, take a blanket and go share it with 5 other people. And so much of that story is threaded into what we have tried to do at Starbucks, is share our blanket.
By blanket, he did mean healthcare, right? Like they give one set of benefits for every 6 workers, and they have to share.
Honestly, Matt, what did he mean? Why did he share that? What is that? Like, we don't need the union. The union's a blanket? I don't even know what the blanket is.
No. Starbucks treats every 6 employees like one employee, and they have to share the salary of a single employee. So why do you need a union? Because you're already sharing, and unions are, yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Other possible successors, and you heard it here first. This is real analysis here. This is business pants analysis. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. What about a board member? Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
And there are lots of good contenders. But this is where the real story is, right? There are 11 possible contenders from the board. In 2021, we covered the favorite coffee drinks for the Starbucks board, okay? Well, those favorite drinks have been updated in 2022. And let me just say this. These directors ain't no English majors because they can't quite grasp the definition of favorite, okay?
Oh.
These directors are goddamn flip-floppers, and maybe that's the problem. Indecisive leadership, okay?
Okay.
I'm serious. Okay. And who exactly is in charge of CEO succession planning at Starbucks? It's the chairs of the nominating and compensation committees, along with the board chair and the CEO. No wonder they couldn't decide and brought back the old CEO. This group is 75% flip-floppers, okay? So I'm just going to tell you, from 2021, only 36% of the board maintained their favorite coffee drink. These are the true leaders at Starbucks. I'm not... Hey, don't laugh.
No, look.
These are the true leaders.
I think we need to emphasize something here. The stats you think of when you think of like Starbucks, you think of revenue, you think of stuff like that. No one anywhere is covering the flip-flopping favorite coffee drinks of the board members as insight into how these board members think. I think it's genius. I think
let me give you an example. If you think I'm kidding, let me give you an example. Clara Shi. She changed her drink from a pistachio coconut milk latte to an ice sugar cookie almond milk latte.
Terrible! What is that? That's just make believe. That's literally just make believe.
Okay, so these are the. So let me talk about. Yeah.
But Starbucks has new products every. A new product that ends up being her new favorite. What if it's not just like a flip flop? It's just an upgrade, an update.
Okay, Isabel Gama changed her drink from a cappuccino to an espresso.
Oh, terrible! That's terrible.
Are those new drinks?
That's literally the worst.
Let me get on with the story.
Yeah.
Let me get on with the story. I contend right here that from those 4 non-flip-flopper directors, these are the true decisive leaders. This is where the next CEO will come from. And who are these four directors? I'm going to tell you. First among that group is one of my favorites, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. He's sticking with his double espresso shot, but look,
he's not going anywhere. It's not going to happen.
No.
Satya off the table. Get out.
He is king of the world right now.
Yeah,
off the table. Second, sticking with the flat white, is director Richard Allison, who's the current CEO at Domino's. But
that's possible.
Wait, this kind of feels like a lateral move, and why would he want to deal with angry partners? You're wrong about that. There is nothing lateral about going from Domino's to Starbucks. Domino's? Have you tried Domino's? I have. Why would you want to deal with a rising union movement? Why? You have dopey, zitty pizza makers. That's fine. It's easy. Okay. This is my analysis. Third, we've got Joshua Cooper Ramo, who's sticking with his double espresso macchiato. I mean, maybe he's fluent in Mandarin, and he rides a motorcycle, so that could be enough.
Doesn't that disqualify him?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Higher
just my
chance of death.
analysis.
So expensive to
But, but then again, he used to be a TV analyst for the Olympics and is CEO of Sornay, a privately held advisory and principal investment firm, which sounds pretty made up to me. So I'm going to say no
You're out.
on Ramo. No.
Sorry.
On
Sorry.
So who
You're
was
also
left?
not a white male.
Ramo. Who was left? Who is the only other decisive leader at Starbucks who enjoys a very blue-collar drink?
It's
Pike
your
Place
favorite person.
Roast Black.
It's the favorite. Yeah,
Who
that's
is
what I
it?
drink. That's my drink.
It's a plebeian drink of the partners, and that would be current board chair Melody Hobson.
Yeah.
I rest my case. LFG. Come on. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the true analysis.
I like that.
This is
Are
it.
you
It's going to
done?
be Melody Hobson. I know that they're bringing in Howard as an intern. They're trying to play the press game, but I can see through. I know what's going to happen. I know what's happening.
Here's what I like about what we're doing here. We are setting the betting market for CEOs. Greg Goff at Exxon, Melody Hobson, Starbucks. You heard it here first. That is the prediction market for CEOs. But do you have more to say? Because there's like 9,000 more words you wrote.
No, I'm done. Get over it.
Thank God. All right. I'm going to go quickly here. I want to debut a segment I'm calling Subtitle the Headlines. These are 5 headlines with simple, intuitive subheaders that should have been added. Headline writers. I'm looking at you, Bloomberg, because you've gotten great at alliteration and terrible at writing headlines somehow.
Okay.
Take some notes.
Excited.
This is a master class in how to solve your own headline. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the headline. Meta's Ukraine point man isn't Mark Zuckerberg. Subheader should be, yes, it is.
Okay.
Zuckerberg is a more famous autocrat than Putin. Start treating him like one. Stop pretending like he doesn't make every decision. So don't tell me Meta's Ukraine point man is someone other than Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He is the only point man. Okay?
Nice try, Bloomberg.
Well done. Headline number 2. Billionaire Russian oligarch says he doesn't know how to live 3 weeks after being hit with sanctions.
Wait, what? That's the headline? Doesn't know how to
That's the
live?
headline. Yep, doesn't know how to live.
Yep.
3 weeks. It took 3 weeks.
Even for my children, that's extreme hyperbole. How?
Here's your subheader.
Yeah.
Get a real job.
Oh.
That's it. There are nearly 3,000 open jobs in Amazon warehouses right now. They come with free pee bottles. It's not that hard to find a job.
Who is this moron? I mean, most of living is involuntary. The breathing. It's like, how hard is it to live? You don't know how to live?
Well, he doesn't have his super yacht anymore. He doesn't have his 7 apartments in London, Paris, and New York City. It's hard to live now. You know what the problem was? He had to go back to Russia. So no one wants to live there. It's terrible. Here's headline number 3.
Should buzz it for that. Come on.
Wells Fargo rejected half its black applicants in mortgage refinancing boom.
Why am I not surprised by this?
That is the subheadline. Duh.
Oh.
All right, look. There's this new thing. It's called discrimination. The CEO of Wells Fargo is actually pretty good at this, Charles Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He famously said there weren't enough qualified black people to hire.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Sounds like a
there's
dog whistle.
also not enough black people to give mortgage refinancing to either.
You know, and Matt, I looked into this. They're quite a bit lower than their peers. This isn't like standard for even for an already discriminatory industry. They're quite a bit lower.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's real bad. It's real bad.
Forget it not being a good look. It's just real bad. Headline number 4. Texas abortion law match city Bumble pay for employees to travel for abortion.
Ooh, I know what those have in common, those companies.
Subheader, female CEOs.
Yes.
Turns out, maybe, Being a woman who leads a company might not only mean you're shrill and a bit emotional. You might actually be better at your job.
Yet another reason.
Possibly. Headline number 5, my final headline of the day. Warner Discovery Board draws criticism for lack of Latinos.
Oh, good. Did we criticize them for that? Who did that?
I'm sure we have. But
Okay.
here's the subheader.
Yeah.
Get more Latinos.
Okay.
There are 274 dudes named Carlos sitting on boards globally right now. The Education Trust found that 22% of Latino adults in the U.S. had a college equivalent degree. The top 10 movies in Mexico in 2021, 3 of them were out of Warner Brothers. You cannot find one Latino human for your board? I mean, if you thought about it, you could actually go for the token trifecta. Find a Latino lesbian female. That would be amazing. You just nailed every demographic that you mostly have to nail.
Grammatically,
you can't find one?
I gotta say, grammatically, you completely butchered that phrase. I mean, first of all, wouldn't it be Latina? Second of all,
yes, it would be.
lesbian female. What are we doing here, Matt? What is that?
What you want them to identify as female, not non-binary or.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Talk about redundancy, Jesus.
I'm just hammering a point. It's called hammering the point. That's what it's
All
called.
right, I like it. I want that segment every week. I actually enjoyed that. I literally enjoyed that. But I've also
that
I
makes
also have
me
a
feel
lot of
worse
coffee in me.
about all my other segments. Is really what that did.
All right, moving on. My second piece today, I'm gonna use the word literally. I was literally inspired by CNN this morning because I bring up CNN on my phone.
Rare.
There's a horrible headline, about the war in Ukraine, but above it, like a breaking news little box, were the actual important things that Americans really care about. Those are the 3 headlines above the war that we're pretending to care about. It's the actual things we really care about. So CNN, I'm going to cover those stories first. Omicron variant raises concerns in U.S. Yeah, it's not over, people. Europe's rising caseloads could foreshadow a second Omicron surge in the U.S.
Yeah,
Biden is canceling meetings with the Irish Prime Minister, who just tested positive for the coronavirus. And South Korea, facing its worst virus surge, is doing some stuff. So anyway, it's still bubbling.
Yeah. My wife said that they're expecting another
Bubbling.
surge. Yeah.
Number 2 of the things Americans actually care about, Disney. Here's the headline. Disney employees are staging walkouts. A group of LGBTQ plus Disney employees and allies organized a series of walkouts to protest CEO Bob Chapek and the company's responses to Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. On the website, whereischapek.com.
That's
I feel
a
like we
website.
should have.
Yeah,
That should be our website. The Disney Do Better group. How long was that meeting to name the group? I
Not
feel
long
like
enough.
it was only 5 minutes. And it should have been at least an hour.
It needed to be longer.
The Disney Do Better group listed 6 demands of the Walt Disney Company, including indefinitely stopping all political donations to leaders who supported the Don't Say Gay bill, allocating content spending to expand LGBTQ plus representation, and starting an LGBTQ plus brand. Yeah, let's solve this with some materialism. Yeah, let's do it. All right. And number 3, the third thing.
Just now.
The third thing America actually cares about, Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay? Again, these are all the stories above the horrible war in Ukraine. Netflix. Netflix cracking down on password sharing. Netflix will soon test charging users in 3 countries: Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru. Why those 3 countries
Why?
for password sharing? Why are they testing
Why?
those poor people? I don't know. I don't get that. And finally,
They get hacked. No one cares.
to tie it all together, Netflix is shamelessly capitalizing on a war moment. This is from Netflix's Twitter account just yesterday. You asked, and it's back. Servant of the People is once again available on Netflix in the United States. What's Servant of the People, you ask? That's the satirical political comedy series featuring the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, as a teacher who unexpectedly becomes president after a video of him complaining about corruption goes viral. Congratulations, Netflix, you did it.
You did it.
According to reports, Netflix is busy trying to CGI COVID-19 all over Zelensky's character to make his character truly relatable for 2022. Good luck with that, Netflix.
What do they just CGI like viral
Just like
particles on his face?
I think it's like a
sneeze
sheen.
cloud.
It's like a cloudy, wet sheen.
Ooh. That sounds moist.
That's all I have. I'm gonna go calm down in the corner. Emma, come on, bail us out.
Moist.
Make our show
like to
more
stop
relatable
talking.
now.
All right, here's a relatable portion of this. Welcome to a classic round of Would You Rather.
Ooh.
Emma Lurkin, I'm going to give you some Would You Rather prompts based on today's headlines and Matt and Damien, which one they prefer, as is how would you. And there's obviously a correct. I will dictate and reveal once they have made their choices. Contestants have any contextual. We're allowed to ask them, but I retain the right to refuse to answer per usual.
She always says that.
So-
I like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to.
I don't have any questions.
I don't want to get caught. Our is number one. Would you be the next CEO of Starbucks? Be the next CEO of LVMH? The headlines.
Oh.
That's easy.
Yeah. Headlines that those correlate to are one, real life succession. Billionaire owner Bernard Arnault to extend his tenure as CEO with his 5 kids in the running to take over. Number 2, Starbucks CEO retires and Howard Schultz steps in as interim.
This one's easy for me. I can go first.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Everyone knows I'm a Francophile, first of all. And second of all, I don't want to be no like kingpin drug dealer. I don't want to be the head of a drugs mafia group. So I mean,
wait a minute.
I want to be in some like palatial Parisian apartment overlooking the Seine. I mean, yeah, of course. That's what I want to be doing. And I mean, who doesn't love selling tacky handbags? That's perfect for me. I'm a tacky kind of guy. I mean, that's me. I'm there. I'm in Paris. Come on.
Wait a minute. You know that they own Hennessy, right? The
What is
company
that?
makes
Booze?
cognac. Yeah, booze.
That's a
Actual
drug.
drugs. You just said
That's
you don't want to be a
true.
drug kingpin.
Maybe I can get rid of that. I can
And do
sell
we
that
really
unit
think-
to a Russian oligarch.
Do we really think handbags aren't just a form of drugs? Like, do we need
How dare you.
handbags for
Yeah.
anything?
Matt, the subtext is I want to be in a palatial estate in Paris.
Well, you made the wrong choice because you can buy your palatial estate in Paris from all of the coffee that you sold as the CEO of Starbucks. And look, it's really a choice. The choice you're really making is, who do I want to exploit? Do I want to exploit brown people who are picking, coffee beans, or do I want
sound
to
good.
exploit brown people who are making really expensive handbags that are going to get thrown out a year
Yeah,
from now?
yeah.
Like, and for me, I prefer to exploit farmers from places that can't find me with less brand risk. I'm all
I
about
want to exploit.
that
I like
brand.
exploiting like pokey, needly, fingertippy, bloody. Garment maker.
no.
Oh,
For me, the anonymity of brown people in a rainforest is way easier to
All right.
avoid
Who's-
discussing. You go
Emma,
with
who's
Starbucks.
right? Who's right?
Well, this got darker than I intended it to get. It's not my fault,
You
that's
pick.
fault.
You
Uh,
pick two. You pick two creepy empires. Yeah, go ahead.
So the correct answer is Starbucks. Reason and one reason only.
yeah.
The nepotism squad breathing down my neck. If I become the LVMH
Oh.
CEO,
I'm okay
I
with
have
that.
5 backups behind me. So if I screw up one time, I'm out and Argo is in. So that is why it is Starbucks. Moving on. Would you rather number
Emma,
2?
that's what I'm banking on. I get the golden parachute and I'm good. That's what I'm
No.
banking on.
Be quiet. Let her do number 2. This is
Number
great.
rather be a juror on the Sunny Balwani trial charges, or be the
Ooh.
for the Purdue Pharma hearing. The headlines are as
No.
such. 1. A judge jurors from the trial of Elizabeth Holmes' ex-boyfriend Sunny Balwani because they had watched the new series on Hulu.
Oh.
It felt like we were talking to statues. An OxyContin addict who confronted the Sackler family about opioids revealed racism. Those are your choices.
Wow. Can I just say, props to Hulu. Hulu is doing a series on both of these. One is called Dope Sick, starring a wonderful Michael Keaton. That's about the Sackler family story at Purdue Farmer. And they're also doing the one on Theranos called The Dropout. They're both riveting shows. I'm not just saying that because I work in this boring industry, but they're actually very well done and quite wonderful. But this one's easy for me. I want to be. Oh, maybe it's not that easy. Matt, you go ahead.
This one is easy for me.
Yeah.
I definitely do not want to sit in the stale air room of a courthouse listening to something that I've already read, listen to a podcast about, and watch the show on.
Which one's that?
Which one's that? Which is the Theranos trial of any kind. I'm bored of it. I'm tired of it. It's dumb.
Yeah.
I want to write down the facial expressions of the Sacklers while they literally, like, can you imagine being like Oxycontin addict? My life was terrible thanks to you. What are you doing about it? Sackler face, eyebrow raises, right? Like that seems to be
face. I like that.
Significantly more interesting as an act.
You know what? It's also historically more important. Like I'm also kind of tired of the I don't really care about the Theranos investors. Yes, it's a compelling drama in and of itself, but the Sackler family takedown, which I hope is what it is historically important. And if I'm a stenographer, it means I'm getting paid, which I like. So okay, I agree.
You get paid as a juror. Now I want the ability to write things like Sackler family member scratches inner thigh, like while they sit there like stoically. Like that's what I want to do.
Emma,
that seems.
Are we
better.
right, Emma?
It's Sacklers.
Did we pick the right one?
You're both so incorrect. You're so wrong. It is the correct answer is 100% being a juror on the Sunny Balwani trial for one reason only. I want to see someone go to jail, and preferably, I would like to have a hand in putting them there. So I know that sending the Sacklers to jail, not an option. But as a juror for Sunny Balwani, be the foreman. I will run that shit. I don't care. I want to send him to jail.
4-person. Come on, get over your old antiquated patriarchy.
Yeah, but
let me just say this. Let me just say this, Emma. You are totally and completely compromised. You went to Tufts University, which is basically bought by the Sackler family. It's like every building there is a Sackler building. You are clearly pro Sackler. I know what's going on with you. It's ridiculous. I see right through you. You're ridiculous.
I had no idea that I was pro Sackler until
just saying.
Grapple with that later.
Sorry, Somerville.
I like this game. Let's do the third one.
Would you rather, number 3? Would you rather board member or an board member? Here are the headlines.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so easy.
So easy.
Shell headline. Unusual lawsuit aims to hold Shell directors personally responsible for climate failures.
Oh.
Headline number 2. AMC. AMC diversifies from movie theaters into gold and silver mines. AMC apes on social media. Those are your choice.
That sounds like fun to me. That sounds like legitimate fun to me, sitting on that AMC
Honestly,
board. That is like, right? That is like nasal gazing, like twiddling your thumbs. Like there's just nothing going on at that company. I want a part of that every day.
First of all, you get free movie tickets for life, right? Like that's got to be a
Second
great
of all,
perk.
you can show up in your stained sweatpants, right? I mean, because who's gonna care?
versus what? I get free gasoline for life. Like I have no interest in that. There's nothing I'm gonna do with the gasoline. I'm moving to electric cars. Like, forget it.
Yeah.
Second of all, AMC. I mean, like there are no responsibilities. There's no accountability. No one has any expectations that you do a job.
No.
That's the greatest job ever.
You're just like, why don't we get a Steven Spielberg movie or something? Or
it's
so easy.
Why stop at a gold mine? Why not buy a shopping mall in Long Island just for the fun of it? Why buy anything?
What I really like about these AMC chuckleheads too, which I can't wait to call my new friends, is that the new gold and silver mine that they bought is actually not even operational. So they're
not currently operational. That is correct. It doesn't actually make gold.
Sounds like AMC itself.
It's the greatest. So AMC is the correct answer.
And one, you guys have really bungled it. It is not AMC. It's 100% Shell, because
What?
being a board member at Shell would give me a gold star. The star of the Shell board. It would be. I'm just saying, for all these people that are trying to hold all the direct responsible for climate failures, not me. I'll vote for every climate initiative. I will be the perfect sustainability board member. Amazing. Whereas on the AMC board,
You look like a hero.
I don't know anything about gold or silver mining. Screw me over in a million ways. Absolutely.
I'm excited for the investor revolt when they vote Emma out after 30 minutes of being on that board.
I'm excited for that too. I'm also excited
that's
once
the
again
best
to. I'm also
Fine,
excited
that's drama.
still
I'm
about
also
the
in it for the drama.
subject. I'm still excited about the idea that people at AMC are investing in a gold mine. That's going to tickle me for a while.
That was a great segment from Emma Lurking, and a good segment from me, Damien. I was not interested in yours.
Yeah,
So that was Damien Morales, Emma Lurking. I'm Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float Media. That was Business Pants. We'll be back tomorrow. I think there's no fancy expert tomorrow, but we actually have a number, like I said yesterday, of fancy experts coming. Come back tomorrow for a longer show where we tell you what the wrap on the week was, and we update you on our March Sadness brackets if you haven't gotten them in. There is something to win here. We have already heard from one of our fans that what they want if they win is a pair of sweatpants with the word business pants down the side. We will make swag specifically for you about Free Float Media and Business Pants if you win, if you pick the winner. So fill out your bracket. It's on social media. It's in places. I think it's on our website. I don't know. It's in a bunch of places. Go do that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.